All right, welcome to the 24th floor. We have got a special show today. We're going to start off a little different because a huge, can I say it that way? Huge game is on the line. We're talking about Memphis and Arkansas getting ready to play this weekend.
Yes, it's the big game, probably arguably Memphis's biggest game of the season to this point for sure. And who knows the Tigers better than the inside man for the Daily Memphian, FB2, Mr. Frank Bonner II.
Appreciate you,
yes,
man.
sir. Let's clap it up.
So, Frank, do you actually go by the nickname FB2?
No,
Okay,
if he wants to throw a little nickname on the intro, I don't mind.
You know,
He always hating. Last time he was here, he was hating on my Georgia State. Now, he always hating.
That's a simple journalistic question. What name?
Mr. Contrarian over here.
Okay,
oh my God, you go by that, Frank?
Let's get into what people really want to know outside of Frank's made-up nickname, according to Richard. We're talking about the Memphis
This is why I can't give him no RD on that. Because you think about it, Ruben Diaz, Richard Denson, I could easily go RD too, but then he would just hate on it. You know what I'm saying? Or RD squared. He a hater.
I'm not a hater, Frank. I'm just speaking the truth. Speaking of the truth, tell us about the Memphis Tigers. How do you see this game shaping up? Because it's a huge one.
Well, I think if Memphis wants to have a chance, I think they're going to have to win in the shootout if they want to win.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Green, I mean, he's, leading the country in total offense. The battle of the dual threat quarterback between him and Brendan Lewis, but you have to make Taylor Green uncomfortable. You can't let him come in the game and do what he has done these last 3 games and get a feel and get in a rhythm. You want to, Jordan Hankins, he doesn't shy away, the defensive coordinator for Memphis doesn't shy away from bringing pressure. We've seen that in his short time as DC, so I think that may be what Memphis needs to do in order to give themselves a chance to win.
What did you like from Memphis's victory against Troy? Because last week we talked about on this program how the line was close. Troy was only a 3.5 underdog, but it didn't look like that on the Saturday matchup. Memphis just controlled that game for the most part throughout. So were you kind of surprised that Memphis put their foot on Troy, seeing that the line was that close?
Well, I mean, the nature of the game immediately changes once Goose Crowder goes out, the Troy quarterback. Mm-hmm. And so, once he got injured and you knew he wasn't coming back, Troy had no chance. The backup quarterback, Tucker Gilcrease, no disrespect to him, but it definitely was a major drop in quarterback play when he came in the game. And so once Memphis noticed that, you saw what they were doing defensively to keep him uncomfortable, and so Troy really had no chance after Goose Crowder came out.
Well, I'm sure Hankins was very happy to apply pressure when the backup quarterback came in.
Right.
That's what every DC does at that point. Let's move on to. We've talked about what Memphis has to do in some regards, but can we talk about the weaknesses, and I probably maybe use that lightly, in Arkansas's defense? Because Arkansas just wants to outscore you right now. They're not necessarily stopping you all the time.
Yeah, right. And so I think this creates a good chance for Memphis to show what they can do in the passing game, right? Because I think Brendan Lewis is going to have to air it out more than we've seen in the past to put that Arkansas defense on its heels a little bit. We saw against Troy, they had a couple D shots in that first half, but you need to see more of that out of this offense if they're going to want to, keep up with Arkansas. And so we'll see how that tug of war happens with the Arkansas defense and Memphis offense. I think this is a game where you're going to see Cramsey kind of open the playbook a little bit more.
What have you heard from Brendan Lewis this week? Because this is an interesting nugget that I learned earlier this week about Brendan Lewis and Taylor Green. Taylor Green's father was Brendan Lewis's first sports coach. So these two know each other, kind of like the back of their hand. So what have you heard about how Brendan is taking that QB battle?
Yeah, he said, he's obviously, excited about it. He said it's a little extra, competitive nature in there because he knows Taylor Green. He also said that they used to train at the same gym back in the Dallas area. And, Brendan said basketball was his first love, which is where Taylor's dad coached him and everything. And so there's obviously, and I asked him, I said, are you texting, Taylor's dad this week or whatever? He said no, but he said his father is probably, communicating with Taylor's dad this week. And so,
be, in a couple of more years when his sons get a little bit older.
Right. And so I do think that when you have those type of relationships that you find in college sports where one quarterback is going against another quarterback and there's those ties, I think, all those storylines are interesting. And the fact that they both have a similar skill set and all that, I'm sure both of them are going to be wanting to get one up on each other.
They're kind of like a mirror image of each other in a way.
A little bit. Taylor throws it a little more right now, I think. I feel like he's, and maybe that's just the styles of offense at this point, because Memphis can really run the ball. They've got a stable of guys who can run the ball. And so that was going to be my next question is, what do you think about Memphis's ability to stop Arkansas's run? Because if you can contain the run some, then that allows you to kind of play loose on the back end in the secondary. But if you can't contain the run, then your safety's got to come up, your corner's got to play tight. Now you're in trouble.
Yeah, and if we're starting that, the tackling has to be up to par, right? We've seen in these first couple of games for Memphis, some of the tackling has been spotty, and so you have to be able to wrap up. You don't want to, get your hands on a guy and then he breaks a tackle and he turns a 2-yard gain into a 7-yard gain or whatever. You have to prevent those things. And so I think, wrapping up is going to be crucial, more crucial than it has been all season if they want to stop that run.
Yeah, it definitely will be a running back battle on Saturday because you got Arkansas has Mike Washington, who had over 100 all-purpose yards against Ole Miss, on the ground and catching. And then, of course, we got our guy Sutton Smith, who did his thing in back-to-back weeks, named Player of the Week. What have you really seen him come on? Because this is a guy who is rare. And when I say rare, it's more, this is a guy who went from high school straight to Memphis, never touched the transfer portal, never ever thought about leaving Memphis. And so for a guy to be with the program for 4 seasons, to me that says a lot. So what have you kind of seen from him coming on?
Well, obviously, last year, this is what we expected out of him. You obviously didn't get to see it because he got hurt. Yeah. But you've seen the production just increase from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. Last week he ran for 113 yards, which was 2 yards shy of his career high in the game. And so you've been able to see Memphis lean on him more, which is pivotal because Greg DeRosier hasn't returned from his injury. But I think anybody who had any questions about how Sutton would come back from last year's ACL injury, I think those questions are obviously gone.
Yeah.
He's fully healthy. He's shown with those 18 carries last week that he can handle a large workload, and so he's full throttle right now.
I'm not trying to cause no controversy when I say this,
Then
Frank.
why are you saying?
But you remember,
somebody says,
you
no
remember,
offense, but.
Here we go. I'm ready for
you
it.
remember last time on this program, I talked about Greg DeRosier and his injury. Now he still hasn't come back, Frank. And Sutton is doing his thing. Can we say that Sutton has taken Greg DeRosier's chain and is the permanent RB1? Can we say that?
To be honest with you, whoever's out there starting, it doesn't matter, right? If both of those guys are healthy, both of them are going to get their split of carries. Whoever's actually RB1, I think is insignificant.
Yeah.
Whether it Sutton goes out there and he's on the field for the first drive or whatever the case may be. As of right now, it's a moot point because Greg is hurt. But when Greg comes back, I do think that he's not going to immediately come back and all of a sudden be RB. You're going to work him in. But as far as whoever the starter is, I think you're going to look at the breakdown over a course of like a 3-game stretch and see that it would be pretty equal.
I get it, but I'm a Falcons fan, so let me put it like in a Falcons analogy.
Not everything is a Falcons analogy.
You got Bijan Robinson and you got Tyler Algier, 2 really good running backs. But who's the RB1? Bijan. Now, yes, even you can look at the Falcons' last game. Tyler got the touchdown, but if you ask the casual person, the RB1 is Bijan. So that's why I'm saying, looking on the Memphis Tigers, like, sure, Greg will come back, he'll do his thing, get his touchdowns, but their main running back is Sutton Smith. That's what I'm trying to get at on that aspect.
Well, I'm going to help you with this one, and then we're going to take a break. When you're going to carry the ball 40-plus times a game, those dudes are happy to split those carries.
I'm not,
because
of course.
So it's only RB1 on the depth chart for me and you. But for those guys, they getting beat up every single week, they're happy to split some of those carries.
Of course.
Yeah, right. And so, but you can make that comparison with, you can look at the lines with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, those guys are getting their touches and it doesn't matter.
It's still a 2-headed monster. I'm just saying Sutton Smith is the guy.
All right. Speaking of Sutton Smith, you got to spend some time with him, didn't you?
Exactly. The tape tells one thing, but I got to learn behind who he is. I walked the field with Sutton Smith to get his inside perspective on his prep, his mindset, and what this game means to him and this program. We're standing right here on the 50 with Mr. Sutton Smith, who broke out that big 50-yard touchdown against Troy. Let's just talk about it, Sutton. Tell me about what was going through your head in that play.
Yeah, so I was actually upset because I had fair caught the punt, but I felt like I had time and I could, get a big return. So I'm like, I got to make it up on offense. So we snapped the ball. I seen the nose cross the center face, and I seen a big opening. I'm like, let me not get caught. So I hit the gas, and I'm around like the 20-yard line. I'm just like, don't get caught, don't get caught. So I turned it up a little bit more, and I got in the end zone. So thank God, it was a great feeling.
So talk to me a little bit about kind of the game day rituals. Do you have any pregame routines, any superstitions, anything like that?
So I always take a shower in the dark in the morning when I wake up. And another thing I do is, the first song I play is always this gospel song I played since I was in high school that my grandma sent me. So it just gives me some relief, and it gets me ready for game day for sure.
Dude, so basically what you're saying to say, don't touch your headphones.
Yes.
don't touch it.
And when I do touch them, I got to play that song for sure.
Okay, talk to me a little bit, like win or lose, what are we eating after the game? Especially here in Memphis.
Probably some smackers.
Okay.
I love smackers, some hot wings, some steak. And I'm gonna eat great too when we win, but I want to win for sure.
Okay, so now let's go back to music. Who you putting on the ox?
I'm putting Gunna on the ox for sure.
Okay.
Gunna, all the Atlanta rappers for sure.
There we
Gunna,
go.
Thug, Future, yeah,
Okay.
they're my top guys.
So fun fact, me and Sutton both from the Atlanta area.
Yes,
He's
sir.
from Powder Springs, I'm from College Park. So Gunna, Future, Soulja Boy. See, I gotta go Soulja Boy because he's from my neighborhood.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I gotta go
Southside,
2 Chainz,
Southside.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we getting closer to the end zone, which is a place that you want to definitely find yourself against Arkansas. Tell me kind of how are you feeling about the game? It's a big game, biggest game on ABC for Memphis in a while.
Yeah, feeling blessed, man. Excited for the opportunity, blessed about the opportunity, and this is why you come to Memphis, just to play on the biggest stage. This is why you play football, so just ready to hit the field and ready to take it with my guys.
Appreciate the time, Sutton. Good luck on Saturday,
thank you.
man.
Can't wait. Yes, sir.
Sutton Smith, running back for the Memphis Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
See, what a guy that is. What a young man that is. That's Sutton Smith. That's the reason for my method to the madness why I got to hype him up on this program, because I had to have a nice talk with that young man.
That's
my guy.
Yeah, to your point. Everybody knows that, Sutton Smith is a stud. I'm just glad to see him healthy, being able to have the interview, do his thing on the field. And, that's a guy that is hard to root against, right? You're always rooting for a guy like that.
That's Atlanta guys got to stick together. See, Ruben wouldn't know that because he doesn't have no countrymen in this station.
We got to go to break. I will say Sutton has some pretty decent taste in rap in his music, Gunna and some of those others,
Who else did he say?
But somebody on this panel chose Soulja Boy, but I'm not.
Soulja Boy from my neighborhood.
Because you did the hand gesture this way. I'm just letting you know the hand gesture goes.
It's the South Side.
All right.
South Side. We represent.
Let's say thanks to Frank. Appreciate you, Frank.
Appreciate you.
No Soulja Boy in the ox, just so you know when we're in the car.
I would like to see what's on his ox.
As we go to break, we got to make sure we have something huge coming up on Saturday morning. Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, we're going to be live from Tiger Lane, Arkansas, and Memphis pregame show right here on ABC 24. It also streamed on 24 Plus. We're going to have inside information on the game. We're going to have the tailgating, the fan interaction, everything you need to know to get you ready for a huge matchup right there on Tiger Lane. We'll be there live at 9 a.m. We'll be back right after this.